need it bad.
Yeah, she's really good.
Really dry.
You feel kind of lonely over there all by yourself, Tom?
It's 6 o'clock, so we'll stand and join in the pledge, please. Call the meeting to order.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Short call the roll, please.
Cruz.
Here.
Ball. Here. Walker.
Here.
Scarrow. Here. Machewski.
Here.
Kolonoski.
Here.
And Williams is absent.
Okay, on the meeting agenda for tonight, we have under communications announcements, item A is a letter from Amanda Clemens, the committee chairperson for Roots on the River regarding program advertising. Item B is a letter dated 4/21 from Tamara Buzwinka, Filer Township DDA Director, regarding costs for proposed Filer Township website update. Item C is a informational memo from the Manistee County Forest Pest on the Manistee County Forest Pest Alert regarding oak wilt. Item D is a brochure from Manistee County Garlic Mustard Work Bee at Lagoon Creek, which will be held on Friday, May 6th. Under department and committee reports, item A is the Water Department report, Wade Trim's monthly report. Item B is the Fire Department report. C is the Zoning Administrator's report. D is the Planning Commission. E, Zoning Board of Appeals. F is the Building and Grounds Committee. G, Personnel Committee. H, PEG Commission. I, the Downtown Development Authority. And J, the Sewer Project. Under unfinished business, we have item A, the Little Manistee River Watershed Management Plan. Under new business, we have item A, consideration of the presented amendment to the sewer agreement between the Charter Township of Filer and the City of Manistee. Are there any additions to the meeting agenda for tonight?
I make a motion we accept.
I'll second.
Motion by Cruz, second by Kolonoski to approve the meeting agenda for tonight. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Under consent agenda, we have item A, minutes of this special board meeting held April 14th, 2016. B is the financial report. Item C is approval of the Township General Fund expenditures, including the fire department. Those include checks numbered 33418 through 33499, with accounts payable totaling $40,137.12, payroll totaling $14,629.50, for a grand total of $54,766.62. Item D is approval of Water Department expenditures, checks numbered 2246 through 2252, totaling $11,584.41. And item E is approval for the Manistee Lions Club to hold their annual White Cane Sale on May 6, 2016 at various locations in the township. Any additions to the consent agenda for tonight? If not, I would entertain a motion for approval.
A motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Skira, second by Kolonoski to approve the consent agenda. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, under communications and announcements, the first item is the letter from the J.C.'s concerning Roots on the River, and I guess they're looking for some advertising. Want to know if we want any advertising advertising program. I think it's a good program. I know I haven't attended very much. I always want to, but it always seems I'm busy. But I think it's a nice thing for the community and for visitors to the community during the months of July and August to be able to attend those concerts on the river. It's really nice. So anyway, that's what this is about. And on the back of their letter to us is a little blurb about program advertising rates. So if there's interest in that, we have an opportunity to support that program.
Can we do that as a township? Are we allowed to advertise?
We're allowed to advertise ourselves, promote ourselves, I guess, is the way it's put, but I don't know,
It's more like just a
this is a personal
recognition, I
thing.
think.
Yeah,
I mean, you know, on behalf of the township, that's what it would be, just a recognition. I mean, the township showing support for this program by the JCs, unlike
and then I don't know
businesses.
if you could, I mean, you could promote ourselves, but I don't know, and we
Yeah,
didn't run this by
it's
Richard.
probably
so-
something we should run by Richard before we do it, but, and I didn't, I spoke with Richard yesterday, I think, to ask him about this.
I don't think we can.
Well,
do
let me,
advertising.
let me call them and find out, get an answer, a definitive answer for sure on that before we do anything. Item B is the letter from Tamara Buswinka concerning our website. And if you look that over, the DDA, to upgrade our website, the DDA is kicking in, is committed to kick in $1,000, and they're asking the township board to contribute $1,300. It would cost a total of $2,300 for this update. I don't know if any of you went on those websites that she had listed there just to look at them. I did that, and it was, I was really impressed, particularly the two township websites, Highland Township and Rose Township. It was just really impressive what they had on it and how easy it was to find information and work through things. When I compared it to our website, which just is pretty much outdated. The other thing I was concerned about was what that would do to our monthly fee. We pay $39 something a month for our website, and when I called Tamara, she wasn't sure, and so she said she would call Shelley, I forget her last name, that handles our website for us. And anyway, she called me right back, said there would be no change in our monthly fee, that actually, because with the update, she said our platform is so outdated that it takes her a long time to do updates, upgrades on it. And with this upgrade, she said it would be so much easier and so much quicker, you know, to make additions and do work on the website. So that was good news. And I guess I would like to make a motion that we contribute $1,300 for a township website upgrade, going with the DDA's $1,000. And if you look through, it explains what we're getting with that. But anyway, that's aside from the point. I'm making a motion that we contribute $1,300 to do this website upgrade along with the DDA.
Do we have to have another motion before I can ask a question?
You have
Well, we have to have a second.
I'll second it, and then I have a question.
motion by Walker, second by Scarrett to contribute $1,300 from the township board to upgrade our website. Discussion?
Yes, I just wondered if you remembered how much we paid to have our website designed the first time we did it. Is this comparable, or do you remember?
Well, it was probably more than that, but this is not a redesign, it's an upgrade of a sort. But when I went onto these sites, like for instance, Highland Township, that's a population of 19,000 people.
Yeah,
They probably have a staff.
they
And
do. I went through a lot of their drop downs,
Yeah.
and they have a big staff.
They have a big
Yeah.
staff, and Walled Lake has got 7,000 people, and in Rose Township has got 6,000 people. And this Pleasant Ridge has got 2,500 people. That's more like us, but they got a median income of like 90,000 over there. So I mean, these are really high-end websites, and they take staff time. It's not the initial $1,300 that we're going to kick in. It's the amount of time staff is going to devote to it. Lynn already devotes like anywhere between 1 and 3 hours a month to the website. And this
Well-
would probably at least double that.
And that could be some part of the job responsibility of
When we get
our
someone
new,
else.
yeah.
But as of right now,
And-
and you know, we don't have a newsletter. That's the reason we got the website, because the newsletter was so costly
Yeah.
with
And-
postage.
Yeah, and it would just, like I went through one of their websites and looking at their ordinances and then looked at our website, pulling up ordinances, and it just, it was just a lot easier.
Yeah, yeah.
with the
Well,
others.
it's something to bear in mind, but I don't know that we need all of the kinds of things that are in here, but if it is, like you say, that it is taking her longer to keep the website current because of the outdated site.
Yeah, she said that this, working with this platform would be so much
Now,
more efficient. The other thing to consider too is I think in terms of, we're looking at trying to promote our township and look for expansion, particularly with our sewer project. And that's something that as we look to attract businesses and that people go to our website, it's, I think it's going to say a lot about our township in a real positive way. And that along with just our residents that use the website at all is, I think it's going to be easier and more efficient for them to use, more appealing to use.
Now, MTA's partnered with that Land Information Access Association, and I know Lynn has contacted them about the website too. That would be changing from Web Matters, which is what we have now, this one to somebody else, but it is something that MTA has negotiated, and I guess a lot of townships have gone with that.
What's the name of that one, Shirley?
Land Information Access Association.
So in other words, we wouldn't have two different sites, our old site and another new site?
No, we have one.
Still be the same one, just operated by a different person?
No, not this proposal.
No, this would still be, Christy Shelley would be the person that we'd be dealing with. It'd still
Company
be
is
Web Matters.
They
Yeah,
are
it's the
the
same
only
company.
one we've got. But to add all of the, I could see changing it to a web-based platform, but all these things here that go along with it, I'm saying is going to take staff time.
Well, a lot of this stuff, I'm just reading through that list.
Sure, we may be.
A
able
lot of
to
that,
convert
most of
some
that would be
down.
done by Web Matters staff, by Christy
Well,
Shelley
we
or
have
her
to give
staff.
them the information. They wouldn't know what to put on there if we didn't feed them the information.
Yeah.
And that's what takes time to compile.
Is that something we could put on this new job description?
Possibly,
That's,
but again, maybe not,
That's what I'm
because
thinking.
if it's going to be one person here for maybe one day a week, it would have to be your prime person that handles the website, because there are things that come up that need to get on, like right now. You can't wait until a person comes in on the designated day that they're supposed to be here. But again, you trade work, Lynn would give this person something to do, so she would have time to do it.
Or initially, possibly a new hire, could work on this, maybe more than what we're calling for in the job description, work on this maybe through the first month or so of her hire, and then, give her more hours, in other words, and then cut the hours back to what we were talking about. So, yeah, there's different ways we can go about it.
Maybe we'd be better off waiting till we got somebody before we proceeded with it.
Well,
We're not that far off from doing that.
no, we're not.
Did you check with MTA on that?
Well, only that I know that they have this company that they've negotiated with to help townships with websites.
Now, when you say they've negotiated with them, is that the company that's the company that MTA uses?
I
for
don't
their
know if
website?
they personally use it, they probably do.
But they have worked out an arrangement with them to give townships special rates. Okay, well, that's something that maybe we might want to explore too. Any other discussion, questions, comments? Well, then, sure, you want to take a roll call vote on this?
Kalinowski,
Yes.
Walker,
Yes.
Machinsky,
Yes.
Scarra,
Yes.
Cruz,
Yes.
Ball, no.
Okay. Item C on, under communications is just a piece of information that was given out at the monthly MTA meeting up in Onekama concerning the oak wilt problem. And from what we were told there, Manistee County has a real problem with oak wilt. We were supposed to get some information through Filer, the gentleman that was at that particular meeting that talked about oak wilt in Manistee County and how to deal with it and so on. He had another flyer that was better than the one that he gave us there that he said was in PDF format that he was going to send to Onekama, and they were going to distribute it to the rest of us with some more information. But as of this afternoon, I have not yet received anything from Onekama. So just felt that it would be good at least to mention it here so that people that do view the meeting on PEG, one of the PEG channels, are aware. As it says in this brochure, oak wilt kills healthy red oaks. White oaks can be affected but are more resistant and less vulnerable to mortality from the disease. Look for red oaks that suddenly drop their leaves in the summer. The disease is spread between trees through roots, by beetles, and by the movement of infected firewood. And most importantly, they say do not prune oak trees between April 15th and July 15th. And the gentleman talked about that being the Forest Service's recommendation, or the DNR's recommendation, but he really felt even push that out to August 15th. And if oak trees are suspected of being infected with oak wilt, it should be reported. Certainly contacting the DNR would probably be a good way to at least get started with that. So I just want to put that information out. Item D is the flyer on the from North Northwest Michigan Invasive Species Network out of Traverse City, and they are doing a number of mustard pulls again this spring in various locations in northern Michigan. And they will be doing a mustard work bee at Magoon Creek on May 6th, and they will meet at the Methodist Church in Manistee at 9 o'clock, and then carpool out to Magoon, and then they will go back to the Methodist Church at noon for a free lunch. So anyone interested in helping out, help control the garlic mustard spread, certainly is welcome to attend that work bee. Again, that's 9 o'clock this Friday, May 6th. On the reports, Water Department, we've got a regular monthly report from Wade Trim. The thing that I noticed on there, found it interesting, is in looking at January, February, and March for past 3 years, our total usage is actually going up each of those months, and particularly in March. March of 2015 to March of 2016, we actually increased by almost 1 million gallons of water pumped. I just, felt that's a rather significant increase in 1 month. B is the fire department report. Ryan?
Month of April, we had 36 calls for service. 28 of those were medical, 1 natural gas leak, 3 car crashes, 2 structure fires, 1 car fire, and 1 false alarm. Continued work on our training, updating our training, our annual stuff. And we also, Engine 121, the 70 report will go up, will be in the paper tomorrow. We'll also be advertising that on the internet. We're asking the seal bids to be sent in to the township hall by May 18th, and with the bids to be opened on the first board meeting, or the regular board meeting in June.
You had another bad accident today, didn't you?
Pardon?
You had another bad accident.
Yeah, we had another accident today, a head-on accident at 28th Street and 31. We sent 2 to the hospital from that. I'm going to give another call to the MDOT, but they won't do any good about a light there. But their qualifications to put in a light is the number of vehicles traveling through the intersection. So I'm not sure. The last time they did a study, but I'm going to talk to them about it. I know the light at 31 and Murphy was only put in because Kmart moved across the road, which changed the traffic pattern, and then they put the light in. So I don't have much hope for a light being at 28th Street, but call them and see what they have to say. We also had a visit from risk management. I don't know if everyone's aware of that. They came through, did an inspection of the fire department. He had absolutely no changes to be made in our operation. His only suggestion was a federal suggestion that the federal government has come up with, that we do annual physicals for all of our firefighters. And that would cost us about $25,000 a year. I don't know how we could afford that. But that was a suggestion, it wasn't a requirement. And he said he doesn't know of any departments that are actually doing it because no one can afford it. Other than that, that's all I have.
Your expenses were quite high this last month.
I'm sorry?
Your expenses were quite high last month.
They were high. We had that fatal accident we had. We spent 8 hours on that accident.
Well, I can see where you had more calls than that, but you went from 4,000 to 8,000.
Well, and then also, this was our month for our annual maintenance and DOT inspections on our apparatus. And that was
almost 6,000, wasn't it? Or somewhere around there.
That was $6,000 as
I
well.
guess my main concern is that $2,800 for mileage to send somebody to school, that was kind of a ridiculous.
Yep, and I understand that completely. And I have some more information. I don't know if everyone saw this, so I made everyone a copy. And I can tell you the reasons that happened, or the reasons I did that. This was rather a unique situation. We had this class come up at a cost of $300. And the reason we decided to go to this class is because the only other place that had a class available was Baker College in Cadillac, and that cost us $4,000. And you still have to drive 100 miles a day. The reason I decided that we couldn't wait to send Mrs. Ware to the class is that our EMS officer is leaving, go to the State Police Academy. While he will remain in the department, because his intention is that after he graduates, if he can get into the Hart Post, he's still going to live in the area and still be available to us as a medic and a firefighter. So he will be taking a leave of absence, but he will no longer be able to operate as our EMS officer. This is where is the only person that was interested in that position. We have a limited number of EMTs. She was not an EMT at the time and agreed to take this class. And so I decided at that time that it was cheaper to pay the mileage than it was to pay $4,000 to Baker College. And the reason there aren't any classes is West Shore Hospital, West Shore Medical Center used to provide instructors and classes at their facility that they have, that they built with West Shore Community College. And they used to put on the classes for the fire departments or any other medical personnel that needed classes. We used to send our people there. They recently, within the last 2 years, they told us that they will no longer support the fire departments in any fashion whatsoever. So that left us without any classes. The County Firefighters Association is taking over the medical classes, but right now, this last fall was the first medical first responder class, and then within the next couple of years, they are going to start doing classes every other year, which will give us that class, so that we won't have to send anyone as far as Cadillac or Benzie County to take classes anymore. The other reason is we pick personnel, EMS personnel and fire personnel based on a lot of it on the connection to the community. The firefighters classes are every year, annually, January, guaranteed. The cost is included in what we pay to dues to the association, so there's no additional cost. So we can take a couple more chances on who we hire to those classes or who we hire on the department. If they come and they stay 2 years and they leave, it hasn't cost us any more out of pocket than it would have if they hadn't taken it. EMS is different, and we pick how we pick our EMS personnel and how much we're willing to spend on our EMS personnel based on their connection to the community. Mr. and Mrs. Ware have lived here for years. They have no intention of going anywhere. They continue to be responders in the department. At their home, they're coming to the call. They're dependable, and they're people that are going to stay here. So in my view, it was worth the expense that we paid. In hindsight, I would have taken that mileage money and done it by the month rather than in one lump sum at the end. If you look at that sheet that I passed out. The classroom hours, practical hours, which are hours that they did actual hands-on training, and the clinical hours total 278 hours. And we paid her absolutely nothing for spending $278 in class. There's no wage, no wages paid, nothing paid at all for that $278, or 278 hours. She traveled to Benzie County 49 days, back and forth, in all winter, starting in October, rain, snow, whatever it was. She did travel that time, and we paid her nothing other than mileage for her vehicle, which was a diesel 3/4 ton pickup truck. Whose mileage is, as you can imagine, not really great. And those are the reasons that I chose to do that. And do I anticipate ever having to do that again? I would say no, because within the next couple of years we'll have those classes available locally. Mrs. Wood will be our EMS officer. Master Lieutenant Majeski leaves. And I don't see it happening again. It was a lot of money, I agree. But I think that the cost was justified. And I think that in the end it's going to be what it cost us.
Okay, thank you for your explanation, Ron. Anyone have anything else for Ron? Just two things, Ron. I know the number of accidents that we seem to have at 31 and 28th, and I know we've pursued a stoplight in the past. And I know, I don't know if there's a chance of a reduction in speed limit through there. I know through having dealt with the Cadillac office, trying to get speed limits changed in certain locations, they make you jump through hoops.
Right.
But I don't know with documentation of the number of accidents in that particular location, if they would consider at least even, if not a street light there, a reduction in the speed limit, say starting at Stronach Road.
Yeah, I talked with them about that before. If not a light, at least lowering the speed limit to like 45, and then 40 when it gets in by Kmart.
Right.
But they just wouldn't entertain that idea. I know before the stoplight was at Murky, when I talked to them and I did a map and I showed them everywhere through there where there had been an accident, and he told me it doesn't matter how many accidents there are, just the number of cars that go through the intersection. So I'll talk to them and try to at least get the speed limit changed, but I don't hold a lot of hope. Maybe things have changed, or maybe how they determine those things has changed. I'm not sure.
Well, and since your last attempt at that, there seems like there's been a lot more accidents at that same intersection. So,
When's the last time that mileage study was done for that area?
I'm not sure.
Because I think there's more traffic now.
I believe there is too.
Well, there's
And
more
then-
traffic now because of the clinic out there than there
Right.
used to be years ago.
And then having it 55 miles an hour by the Kmart gas station to me is ridiculous. That's where it changes to 55. So people going south are putting the pedal to the metal, speeding right up. And either they're T-bones or somebody turning. One today was someone turning left onto 28th Street, 31, and the other vehicle was going north on 31. Turning in front of them.
Another thought I just had when you talk about physicals and, how cost prohibitive it is to do that. I wonder if anything could be worked out between medical staff in the area and all of the firefighter organizations in Manistee County to do some kind of special one-time rate, get everybody like they do for the schools with
Well,
physicals.
we do, our policy is that we do a physical, hiring physical. when I talked to Crystal Lake Clinic, who we now use our medical personnel, there's a flat rate for a DOT physical, and if you got 100 people or 5 people, it's the same price.
But you're thinking like a county-wide
Yeah.
day where
Yeah.
everybody would come in and get.
I mean, that might be something that we could
Just
check.
something
We
to
haven't,
pursue to explore and see if it's possible, because the schools, I mean, the number of athletes that that receive physicals all on the same date. It's, you know,
But this
I don't
is-
know what they pay anymore, but I know it used to be, you know, it wasn't costly at all.
a DOT physical involves about a 8-page form you have to fill out. And,
Yeah.
but anyway, we have a firefighter association meeting, chiefs meeting on third Wednesday, the 18th, I believe it is. So I'll bring that up there and we'll discuss it and see if everybody's willing to do that, if we can get together.
Is it possible to maybe approach the tribe for a revenue sharing grant?
At a offhand, I would say probably not. There are so many applications and so little money anymore that it's pretty difficult. Right now, we're hoping to get Revenue Sharing Board to purchase new defibrillators for all of our departments and law enforcement agencies. And so that would be take care of this grant, and then the next one wouldn't be given out until December of next year. But we can do some research and find out, get some more answers.
Any young doctors want to be on our,
The thing is, the federal government requires them to have certain qualifications to be able to do the physical. And that's what I found out at Crystal Lake Clinic. At the time, they only had one doctor who could do it.
huh,
I don't know what that is, what that qualification is, but I think maybe now they have 2, but I'm not positive. I know at one time, last time I checked, there was only 1, but I've heard they have 2. So it's. But I will check with the other departments at on the 18th and see if they, I don't know if everyone's doing it or not. I know when this representative's going around, he's telling all the fire departments that, so that may be something that's going on.
But he's also telling them it's not mandatory, because he brought that up to us.
Right, it's not mandatory. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, thank you, Ron.
Okay, thank you.
Item C is the zoning administrator's report, in your packet with that. E, the zoning board of appeals. I skipped D, didn't I? I'm sorry. D, the planning commission. The minutes are in your packet. Shirley, is there anything you want to add to those minutes?
Nothing beyond that.
Okay. E is the zoning board of appeals. Again, those minutes are in your packet. Item F is the building and grounds committee, and I just mentioned that the item speaking to the Nelson Street office remodel project being on hold. We did meet this week with Kendra Thompson. She came in last week and took measurements and then did some drawings over the weekend, and we met with her on Monday. Dean and Tom were there, and Bob Skira, and she went through some of the items that need to be addressed there in terms of handicap access and parking and so on. So she will be submitting that to the state and waiting for a reply to get approval on that. And she said it could be 4 to 6 weeks. And I think that was the only thing I wanted to mention on the Building and Grounds Committee. Oh no, there was one other thing I forgot. I met about a week and a half ago at AES concerning the countywide park and rec plan, and put in a word for a handicap access site at Lagoon Creek, and so I've got a meeting set up on Tuesday, May 17th at 9 in the morning to meet out there at Lagoon Creek with Pat Bentley, engineer with Spicer Group, and Tim Urban of AES. So I would invite, if any of you would like to go out there with me that morning, let me know. I would also like to invite Rick here in the audience, so I was going to call you. I wanted to extend that invitation to you and probably one or two other planning commission members. So you can get back in touch with me on that, let me know. But it's Tuesday, May 17th at 9 o'clock, and we'll be meeting out at Lagoon. Personnel Committee. We met April 20th. Ruth, do you want to just kind of highlight that as secretary or treasurer? No, secretary of the Personnel Committee.
Well, we met to discuss getting some extra help for Lynn and a part-time person. And so what we decided to do is, with the board's approval, we'd like to run an ad. And if you look at the, I think it's on the second page, well, the qualifications, but the ad itself is on the third page. And that is the ad that we'd like to run, and we'd like to put it in May 5th, 6th, and 7th. And then we would like to have the resumes received by noon on May 20th. And we came up with a proposed wage based on experience.
With a little flexibility in it.
Yeah, probably a lot of flexibility. And the specific duties that we outlined are on the second page.
So we need a.
So if you looked that over, we'd just like to
A wanted ad.
get approval from the board to place that ad in the newspaper to advertise for that position, to be able to hire and provide Lynn some relief. She's getting really overloaded. So with that, I would entertain a motion for that effect.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Okay, motion by Kolonowski, second by Cruz. And your motion is to approve the ad on
Language.
page 3, the verbiage and the hiring of a part-time. Okay. Any discussion?
Now, once the sewer gets, we'll need some other persons.
Well, that'll just add to Lynn's burden, and right now she's really in need of help, so.
We could add that website job to this also.
Right.
You can maybe get an hour or two more for that.
Well, I think the website is going to need to stay with the principal person that's here the 40 hours a week.
Okay.
But there may be something else that could be shifted to the part-timer to allow Lynn that extra time to do the website work.
Okay, any other discussion? Okay, there's a motion on the floor. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Item H is the PEG report. Anything you want to add to that, Dean?
Yeah, I'll take that. You got a bunch bunch of country videos in. And Mike Tillotson did 3 interviews with the current candidates for the sheriff's department, which I thought was very interesting, and they were well done. Also, we're looking at a business plan for pay. We're trying to get more people, businesses, organizations interested in giving us some money to put out their ideas too. So we started that on Friday. We're going to have our first meeting, trying to put the questions together and get that out to the community so you know who to ask, where we have to go, and what we have to do.
And also, last night we, for the first time, streamed the PEG meeting live on our website and YouTube. And although the audio was rather low, it did work very well. So we're going to be seeing a lot more of that as the future rolls on, hopefully.
Good. Getting more high-tech.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, item I is the DDA report. The minutes are in your packet. Unfortunately, the DDA did not meet today for lack of quorum. Under J, the sewer project, I guess the only update there is the fact that Brian Sousa and Richard Wilson and Jim Scales are currently working on the special assessment district and easements, and we're moving on forward. Under unfinished business, we have from the last meeting the Little Manistee River Watershed Management Plan, and I had asked at that time that you read that over and take a good look at it to determine whether or not we want to lend our support to the council that is working on this. And you know, as I thought about this and looked through it and read it, I reflected back to a time when I was in college, and a few roommates and myself would come up here in the spring to go steelhead fishing on the Little Manistee River, and you know, we would stay at motels and eat at restaurants in here. I think we stayed at a place called the Hilltop, which is now no longer there. But I think about the significance of the Little Manistee River and the impact that it has on the community, the local area through tourism dollars spent here. It's a nationally known river that gets a lot of outsiders coming to this area fishing. So it does have an economic impact on the community. This, as it says in the second paragraph on the partnership agreement page, that signing this does not convey any specific responsibilities to those signing this agreement other than a commitment to participate to the best of their efforts in the development of a Little Manistee River Watershed Management Plan. The undersigned believe that the health of the Little Manistee River watershed is critical to the well-being and economic health of the area, and that a plan should be created to ensure the wise use and management of the watershed now and for future generations. And basically, if you, on the management plan part of it, I think it was the second page, they've shown who's involved so far. There are a number of townships along the Little Manistee River that have signed on. You know, Manistee County has Stronach, Norman Townships here in Manistee County. So part of this, I think, is, and I forget where I read it now, the fact that by municipalities, organizations, individuals, and so on showing support, it's going to make it easier for them to develop a plan and get funding. Certainly, I gotta believe there's going to be grant dollars available, but they need to show that there's support for this in order to move in that direction. So I think it's, even though the actual river is not part of our township, we are located on the lake that is fed partially by the Little Manistee River. So from my point of view, from that standpoint, I think it's significant and important for us to participate, but I open up for thoughts from the rest of you.
MTA just came up with a Blue Water Initiative. If you look at your MTA magazine, that's going to be start pushing all over too. So along with rivers and streams, we're going to have lakes and all the other, to try to get more people involved in recreation and just keeping the waterways free of trash and stuff. So I think we're just giving support to an application.
And that's certainly, the water's also a large part of our Manistee County recreation plan.
Because what we're actually doing, just say we're throwing our support to it.
Yeah, they're not asking for money at this point.
Not at this point. I'm certain down the road they probably will be.
I don't think.
But to, like I say, to move forward, to be able to
I think we should
push this
go around and
initiative
say
ahead.
have our support.
Well, I think it's a sign on to this partnership
Right.
agreement.
And that's on the third page of the partnership agreement, so.
Is that a motion?
Huh?
Are you making a motion to
That was my motion.
support that?
I'll support it.
Motion by Cruz, support by Kaczynski, to sign on in the partnership agreement with the Little Manistee River Watershed Management Plan. Any other discussion? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carried. Under new business, we have a presented amendment to the sewer agreement between the Charter Township of Filer and the City of Manistee, which was put before you this afternoon. It just came through around 12:30 today. And basically, I don't recall if we talked about that at the last meeting, but what it's doing is transferring ownership of the infrastructure that those businesses that are already connected to the city for sewer, conveying ownership of that infrastructure to the township, which is necessary in order to be able to special assess those businesses. And this was a part of the agreement that was signed in 2012, part of the original agreement, and it wasn't included here. Kind of got lost, I guess, and it was mentioned that needed to be included in there. Unfortunately, the city, I had Eric Williams' office send this to Cindy at the city office to give to Thad Taylor, and he called me this afternoon and said they would not be able to address it tonight. It was not on their agenda, but they would at their May 17th meeting, but didn't anticipate problems with it, but obviously they do want to have an opportunity for their attorney to look at it before they vote on it. So they won't be voting on it tonight, but we certainly can.
I'll make a motion on we go there.
I'll second it.
Okay, motion by Cruz, second by Skira to add the addendum 1 to the agreement for the collection and treatment of wastewater contract between Filer City and Manistee, Filer Township rather than the city of Manistee. I'll do a roll call vote on that, surely. Oh, is there any other discussion, first of all, on this?
Tom, you got any
Questions? Okay. Go ahead, Shirley.
Cruz?
Yes.
Ball? Yes. Walker?
Yes.
Kalinowski?
Yes.
Scarra? Yes. Chesky?
Yes.
Okay, public comment. Any public comment at this time? Anyone?
Sure.
Kathy?
DOT physicals, if I could go back there, part of my responsibility as the transportation supervisor for MAPS is to make sure we do that. And I'll talk to Ron too, but we partnered with Dial-A-Ride, and we have a physician a mobile physician that comes in and does those physicals for $85 a person. And you do have to be DOT certified, and he brings a nurse with him. So if it does come down to being mandated, there might be something that, you know, he would be able to help all the townships in the county. But he just would come into a room like this and, well, probably more private than this, but, and just does them. And we've had 4 drivers, bus drivers go through them, and they're very happy. But it's easy and quick, so,
Good.
and less expensive than going to.
Yeah, thank you. I'll let you guys discuss that.
You can see me on.
We will, that's a lot cheaper than
Any other public comment? Okay. Anything else to come before the board tonight? Dean, did you want
Dark
to?
store. Dark store.
Yeah. Go ahead.
There's a House Bill 5578 that is going to take on dark stores. Basically what it is, you get a big box store in your community. The second year that they're here, they go to the tax tribunal, they bring out all the old Kmart stores and everything else. They said since they're equal to the Kmart stores that are closed before, they want less money, and they don't want to pay the taxes on it. So what's been happening is they've been winning. So it's costing a lot of money for local townships, cities, all over the place in Michigan. So they have a bill out now to make it fair for everybody. It's written up in a way where all the little townships and stuff will not be, I don't want to say that, will not have to pay that, the money will be more equally paid out on their taxes for the big box stores. They won't get the big tax breakdown. So I'm for that.
And as it says in the information here too, it's not just the big box stores now, it's spread beyond that to a lot of smaller businesses like fast food restaurants, auto parts stores, chain pharmacies, and so on, exploiting the same loophole and getting...
But see, all you have to do is find, if you were a farmer and you had your barn and you stopped farming, they're going back to the tax tribunals now and said, well, I don't farm anymore. I'm not using this for anything like I did before, therefore it isn't as worth as it was before. And the tax tribunals would say, okay. So they cut the taxes on the big barn that he's got, and then that takes money out of the township. Yeah.
Is that an operating big box, or is that one that's closed?
No, it's operating big box stores.
The operating big box stores are using that.
So, just from my understanding, if you don't mind.
Yeah, it's kind of different.
So they're comparing what they're taxed at compared to a store where the lease is still in effect for like a Kmart that shuts down.
Is that it?
That's why it's called dark store.
That's why they call it dark store.
Well, I got bad hearing, so I didn't.
One of the things, if I understand it, Rick, one of the things they do is they build it, they open it, and and then you immediately go for the tax reduction, stating that that store it no longer has the value if they were to try to sell it, because it can only be used for that specific purpose. Like say a Walmart for another Walmart to come in or whatever, and they're winning. So.
And we have a lot of those, some places have turned those dark stores into other things, but they don't equate that. If you put a little racetrack and you have restaurants and stuff in there, they don't want to accept that as a dark store.
Some municipalities have adopted specific ordinance language that, takes care of that issue, but the legislature is trying to take care of it for everybody.
And what this is asking is to accept.
So instead of every
universal
township
rates.
writing one, they're going to try to write one for everybody. Because we suggested to do that too, just to protect our township. In other words, you can't take your legal paperwork and change it to anything else but what it is.
And like Shirley just said, this is asking them to accept universal appraisals rather than,
Right, that's what the bill is asking for.
So,
So I think we should support the resolution.
well, I'll make a motion to that effect, and that we adopt the resolution of support for House Bill 5578, the dark store bill.
I'll second it.
Motion by Walker, second by Koloneski to approve the resolution of support for House Bill 5578, the dark store bill. Any other discussion? Shirley, why don't you do a roll call?
Walker,
Yes.
Ball, yes. Garrett,
Yes.
Kalinowski,
Yes.
Kuczynski,
Yes.
Bruce.
Yes.
Okay. Any other business to come before the board tonight? I just would like to let our viewing audience know that we have an absent member tonight, Mr. Ed Williams, who's suffering some health issues right now, and just ask that you keep him in your thoughts and prayers, as we will here as a board, and just let people know that can certainly use our support at this time. Dean, do you have anything else to come before the board?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
When do we start the brush pickup?
May 9th.
Monday from
Yeah,
yesterday.
this coming Monday.
That's all I have.
Ruth, anything? Ruth? Don?
Nothing.
Then I would entertain a motion for adjournment.
I so moved. So sorry.
Motion by Jaczynski, second by Cruz to adjourn. All in